Okay, so I'm going to explain to you the correction that I've been doing on this foot that I screwed up years ago from doing the trimming from the top and just other trims that don't tell you or explain to you how the hoof wall grows, the truth about the foot, how half of it's hard, the back half is cartilage and bends. And when it bends, the coronary band from which the hoof wall grows bends with it, lowers the angles of all the horn tubules in the back 1/3 of the foot so that they're pushing forward, and then it pushes everything in front of it forward, like it pushes the horn tubules in the quarters forward. I'm looking for a pin so I can explain, which I probably won't be able to find one. I irritate myself. So I'm fierce. I can't keep track of nothing. Here we go. Okay, so then the toe goes forward, the heels go forward, everything goes forward, and you can only back up that toe so far. Okay? You've got, when all this, see this horn tubule right here? I'm going to mark it. That's where it is right now. Right now. Right there. Okay? Now, from here back, this is cartilage, so it bends. So if you trim the heels out here, this, see how the coronary band now is up here? It was down here, and it takes all these horn tubules that should be standing up here, and it bends them down so they're growing like this. And pushing forward. Well, they're going to push forward on the quarter here, and on the toe, and the whole toe, everything grows forward. Well, then you come in there, and you're going to back up that toe. Okay, well, you can shorten the toe and back it up only so far, but see, then you've got to get all these that were grown up like that, you've got to get them to back up and stand up like this. You see? So that is what I've been doing with him. Now, a lot of times what you find is you have very steep upright heel on the inside, and this heel here, which should be like this, push forward like this, pushing everything forward. Okay, now when this heel drops and pushes forward, it pushes the wall out like that. So you wind up getting what's called an asymmetrical foot, which means, and it can happen the opposite way, okay, to where this condition is the opposite on the other side, depending on your eye mechanics and body mechanics and all that. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so when this heel pushes forward, it pushes this side out. And you think you have a flare, which a typical flare is separation of the hoof wall in the lamina, okay? And so really what we try and do is get the leverage off of that, where it should be breaking over, so then that the wall will go down connected. But that's not what you have here. When the heel pushes forward and it runs into resistance here, then it pushes the side out like that. That is not a flare. That is a bulge, a structural bulge in the wall from this wall being pushed forward and having, you know, anytime anything is displaced, it's going to affect something else all the way around. Okay? Okay, now that also makes it so that even if your heels are technically the same height, this side's going to be lower than the inside. Because when you take this and go like that, it lowers all this. You understand? Alright, so I have figured all this out. And so gradually, yeah, I get the toe to come back to so far. Now I've been working on all these, which this one here, right here, this section of hoof here, wall here, was like this. Grown forward like that. Now it's backed up. Notice it's shorter. If this part here was at a lower angle and pushed up to here, notice that it would also be longer. This section of hoof wall would be longer, but not higher, because the angle is down like so. Alright, so I worked to get the excess hoof capsule that was laid down and grown forward out of the capsule here. And as this has happened, as I said, this side of the wall will bulge outward. Now, the wall grows down from the coronary band here and meets up with the sole about here, and then they connect at the white line, and they grow down together. Now, a lot of times, even when the wall bulges outward, like this, it's going to stretch and pull the sole with it. So you'll have a tight white line in there, or you can have. A lot of times, though, it's hard to get a tight white line and get the foot level, equal-sided when you have a bulge here. You're always going to have an arch in the foot. And a lot of times there'll be an arch up here, too, because when this bends, it arches the whole hoof wall, like so. And it's so common that people think that the hoof actually has a natural arch in it, when it doesn't. The foot inside is level and even. The coffin bone sets at a positive angle within the inner foot. So yes, you do have a positive angled coffin bone, but you have a ground parallel foot on the inside. This is what has confused people, because all they do is look at x-rays rather than looking at the actual foot of the horse. Okay, so when you're correcting this and all these horn tubules are coming back and straightening up, as the heel is coming back, it's going to draw this wall inward. Do you understand? Now, again, when the wall was pushed outward over here, it pulled the sole with it. Now that it's going inward, it's got that excess stretched sole that it don't know what to do with. So I'm going to show you how a big chunk of sole loosened up and came out right here. And today I'm trying to figure out something to put on his foot to kind of protect his foot. Okay, give me your foot. Okay, you see that right there? How that has come out. Now all this sole is going to want to come out for this wall. For this heel to be able to come back, I'm going to have to take a little bit of this sole out. See, it's loose, clear up back into here, so all this can come over. Because again, when the heel will push forward, what did it do? It bulged the wall out that way, pulled the sole out that way. It was very, very asymmetrical, but you can see how it bulges out right here from that heel being pushed forward. So, I'm going to have to find something to kind of put in his foot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take out some of this sole here, and then I'm going to make something to put on the bottom of his foot to protect this, because he's real tender right here where this big chunk of sole came out, because it's excess sole that's been stretched this way. Now look at this. This is nice and full right here and solid, but this is concave like that. See, you want it full, a nice platform. You don't want concavity right here. You want a platform. This is only concave because this wall stretched out this way. Okay, so I'm going to take out a little bit of this, and then I'm going to find something to put on his foot to protect his foot for a while. Okay. Okay. So, I think what I want to do is just take a little bit out of the side here. See, this heel is wanting to come back. This is wanting to come in. We're just going to take just a little bit of this sole out here to give it some room. See, that's loose all through there. See how it's dark? This whole piece is loose here. Oh, yeah, look at, see? Mud up under there. Clear up here. See it? I knew this whole section is loose because this whole piece of wall that was pulled out this way is wanting to come back, so it's loosened all that up. Poor guy, he's going to have a big chunk of sole out there. Yeah, see, you'd think a flare is just separated hoof wall. Okay? But in this case, when the heel goes forward, the side goes out. Yep. You see there's dirt all up under there. All this is loose here because this whole side is coming in. Now, see, I know that there may be some of you watching this who have taken hoof clinics where they put a ring on here and they're trying to tell you that this width never changes. That's not true. These sides, when the heels go forward, will bulge out and stretch the sole with it and make the hoof capsule and sole actually wider than it's supposed to be. Yep. I just want you to see up under there. See the dirt that's gone up under there where all that sole came loose on the side there? Yep. Yep, this is all because this wall, this sole here, wants to come out so this wall can come in. See? Let's see. Get a smaller knife. See how far this goes back. Wow, clear back there. This whole chunk of sole is loose. Clear up under there. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna have to cast it or something. Yep, see how there's dirt clear up under there? I want you to see that. No, 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 no. Huh. Very interesting. I wonder how many times, too, on foundered horses, when the sole corium and the laminate, everything comes loose from the original hoof capsule, that you get this situation. Detached sole, and then sole growing underneath on the foot. See? And so if it don't get removed, it's not just going to wear off. I'm going to take this. Toe is high from about here. Here, from here over, this is all high. Why is that? Because it's coming back and the excess is coming out the bottom. Is kind of what's happening there. Wow, that whole thing is loose. Clear up into there. Wow. I need some sort of little brush to clean it up. That's just a fresh foot and sole under there. Yep, this whole piece of sole here is loose. See, even the bar, when the side goes out, the bar goes over too. Really interesting, don't you think? Except then you don't know what to do for the poor horse. I'm going to have to cast his foot or something. Did put something on there to protect that. Huh. Might have to run get one of those booty things. Because I had one, but I don't know what happened to it. Come here. Come here. Give it here. Give it here. Oh boy. What a deal, huh? What a deal, see? That's loose, this whole piece of sole. See, this whole bar will want to come over and stand up. See, I'm just taking this over. It's all, this is just sole sitting on top of the foot here. It's not doing any good. Okay, right about there. Now I've run into where there's sole actually attached to the foot, but this whole piece here, see? Dirt? See dirt? Right. See the dirt under there? Dirt has come in and got under this whole piece right here. See, that's how you know the whole piece right here has been detached with new sole growing on the foot underneath it. See there? Dirt. So now that foot with no sole like that, or very thin layer of sole, but it'll grow better once we get this dead, loose stuff off of it. This is absolutely fascinating. Does not surprise me at all, considering the structure of the foot. How the sole was pulled out. Now that I'm bringing everything back, it's loosened that, it's dead, it's come detached, but it's still attached to the capsule. You understand? Come on, give it here. Very, very interesting. So really, I've got to get this whole piece off in order for this sole to grow in here correctly. Okay, right there, it's clean. We'll see here. Really being careful. Because, I mean, we're just right there at the sole core. I've just got one thin layer. Very soft. Go on, get out of here, dog. Get in here, doggy. Getting right up here into the wall too. Wow. Being very careful. Don't want to go too deep. We're just going to where that fresh sole is. Over here. And I pretty much think I've got this all cleaned out. Okay. All right. There you go. Look at that. Very interesting, huh? He started limping on that foot a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know what the heck was wrong. And then a hole showed up, which I'll post a picture of. And then I opened up that hole, and it was just hollow under there. But I was kind of afraid to go anymore. But then I started understanding, as you study, take pictures. As you study, as you understand what the true foot is, and then you look at pictures, you're going to see where your horse has issues and where you need to trim, you know, to help him. And so, you know, as I studied the pictures and thought about it, this is new territory for me. I am a pioneer. Okay, on a frontier where I don't know where I'm going half the time. I've had people say, well, how come somebody who doesn't know what they're doing teach people who don't know what they're doing? Well, you people that don't know what you're doing have been teaching us, saying that you know what you're doing for a long time. And then we apply it and we find out, hey, what you've been teaching us is not working. So therefore, we need to stretch out on our own, try and figure out what the heck is going on. That's all I've done. You know, I was just sharing what you were sharing with me, the error that you were sharing with me, found it out to be lies, and I share it with others, okay? And end the process and keep searching for answers. I'm coming up with some answers, okay? To understand what is going on with these hooves, how they have to be correct. Okay, structurally, if they would have studied these from the standpoint of structural engineering, instead of just whopping all their medieval traditions and calling it science and making stuff up as they go along to try and explain their error, we'd be a lot further along. Okay, so I'm going to take this hoop wall down on this side a little bit, so that now it can be more level with this side. Okay, well, we're going to take some pictures of this. I want you to see, look at that, the wall. See there? Okay. Yeah, well, see the wall here? How much sole I've taken out? Okay, now this is all going to come over and help push this heel back more and straighten up this bar. Okay, so I just want to take some of this wall down. Notice how I'm able to take wall down, but I'm not taking anything of the heel buttress really down. It's at about 1 3/4 inch. So those are stress cracks. This foot is just about level for the first time ever since all this went forward. Okay, I'm going to map this foot now. One reason you want to use one of these, and you want to mark it here and here, is because your eyes cannot get straight across the toe. So I mark here and in the center of that, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to try and get a line centered up right here. And with the mark up here so I can see where it's at on the toe. You see there? Okay, then, oh well, here, you want to draw it all the way down the frog. See there? All the way down the frog. Okay, then you're going to bring this up here to the apex of your frog. Always trim out the apex of your frog. Now, I just did that. Last time I trimmed him. Okay, so we'll just take this out a little bit. So you know where that's at. Usually you'll see a little line. Okay, I have another way I find the true apex of the frog as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to put this line here and this line here so that I'm centered up across this part of the foot. Let's see. Try and get my line centered up. Okay. Now, hold on a second. Now, your wall should end, the outer part of the wall should end at about 2 inches. Okay, you see now, I've got my wall beveled, so it's back a little bit, but I've got this much thickness of wall right here. See there? Okay, and there's my 2-inch mark. There. Okay, now how this works is from the apex of the frog, okay, right there, 3/4 of an inch, which is right about here, there's where your coffin bone ends. Okay? 1/4 inch from there at 1 inch is where your sole corium is. Now you need to have about 1 inch for sole and thickness of wall. From the end of the sole corium to here. Now, again, do I have that? No, because my wall is beveled right here. But my wall grows down from here to here at exactly, well, a little less than 2 inches. See there? And this is a pretty good sized horse. He's 15.5 hands. He's probably 1,200 pounds, 1,250. He's a pretty good sized horse. Okay, now, what I do there, okay, after I mark that, okay, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to balance this so it's right in the center. I'm going to put it right on the end of the white line, where the white line is there, where the white line should be. If your toe is further ahead, then this is what you do. Because this horse has a pretty good amount of sole. From there, well, let me get the other one. I'd say at, Quint, would you hold still? At 1.5 inches, right here, make your imaginary white line. 1/2 inch from the end of your sole coram to here is where you want to start bringing your breakover back in your toe. Okay, because see, in the wild horse, they wear the wall in such a way as there's no leverage on that wall in the toe. Okay, so what I'll do then, okay, is I'm going to come up here to my 1.5 inch mark. Okay, I'm going to put this line on the center here, and this line on the center. I'm going to come up to my 1.5 inches, and I'm going to draw a line straight across the toe. Now this shows me where I need to bevel to. Okay, then I am going to, that's going to be my white line, and let's say this horse was out running wild and free. Okay, he is going to wear his hoof wall rounded off to this mark right here. So I'm just going to take straight across, right to that line, all the way across. See there? Now, when this horse breaks over, he's going to roll over right here. There's not going to be any leverage on this wall here. Okay, now, I will wind up rounding off these edges just like this. See, so that there's still some wall here supporting the side of the toe, but there's no outer tubule leverage here. Here, it's clear to the white line that I haven't rolled. See, that's just going to roll. There's not going to be any leverage from here to here. On just the outside of this here, I'm just going to knock off the outer tubules and blend this in, but still leave some sole and wall next to here, from here to here. There'll still be some weight sharing with the sole and the wall, but the outer, harder tubule will be rasped off like so. Okay, now, on your heels, ultimately from the hairline, which is right up under the hair and down, you want at least 1 3/4 inches. Okay, but there's a lot of explaining to go on here. Things that can happen. You have to learn to read these heels. You have to learn to read when you have heel buttress. You know, like on him, if I was to measure the periopal, I'm right at 1 inch right there. But then from the bottom of this part of the collateral groove, not the bottom in there, but right here at the back, okay, as long as there's no frog skin built up across here, but I'm right at the end of the periopal, I can go 3/4 of an inch right there. Okay, now I start out trying to get 1 inch because I want to load the wall, okay, so that it will push up and straighten up that bent cartilage that has bent under and is making those horn tubules grow like that. So I'm going to kind of load the wall for a while so it's pushing that up back into place. But when all is said and done, I have come to find that, and a friend of mine too, who's been twimming quite a few horses, that when all is said and done, you get them horn tubules straightened out and you get the heel buttress straightened out, you're going to find your horse's heels are at about 1 3/4 inches. Now, maybe a little less for a tiny horse, a little more for a big horse. You understand? This is ballpark figure for your average saddle horse. You know, and what happens is, as you learn it, you start to learn how to tweak this anatomy, you know, to that horse's specific size. See? All right, so this is what I got so far. Now, we're going to take and I'm going to put this foot down. Okay, and then we're going to come around here. And I'm going to map this foot. I'm going to map this foot. Let's see. Wish I could make that stand up. Hey, pony, don't step on my camera. Okay, where are we there? All right, where is my... Just a minute, I'm getting it all in alignment here. Oh, it's in my hand. I'm looking for it all over the place. It's in my hand. Okay, now, here's the center of my foot. Okay? Now let's see how long that is. I'm right at exactly 3 inches. I didn't start out there because my toe and stuff was clear out to here, right? And the inner foot was low. As the wall has come back, it shoved up the inner foot and sole has grown underneath it. Before, when it was out to here, the inner foot is about sitting on the ground. You can't just take off 3 inches. When it's out like this, even if it's 5 inches long, you got to take it back, not down. Once it gets back and sole starts growing and lifting that foot up, then you got to take it down. Down would be this way. Back is this way. Sometimes you have to take it back, like so. But then once that hoof capsule starts tightening up and lifting up and growing sole, then you're going to find you're going to have to take it down. So, okay. So, from there to there, I'm going to measure over 2 inches right there. And from there to there, I'm going 2 inches right there. Okay, now 2 3/4 inches from here to here, because from here to here is shorter from here to here, according to the structure of the foot. Okay, so I'm right here at the hairline. Okay, I'm going to follow the horn tubule down to right there. I'm going to follow the horn tubule down to right there. Now, okay, so see, I can take this. This is high from here to here. Okay? What about over on this side? This side is just right. See there? Okay, so I'm going to come under here and I'm going to take off a little bit more of this wall right over here. Okay, see, this helps you get in a ballpark figure. You may start out with 3.5 inches down like this. Okay, and all you can take it down to is, say, 3 1/4, or even just 3.5. But as everything comes back and gets together, you find you're getting shorter and shorter. Now I'm at 3. But once all the sole and all these problems are figured out and everything's going correctly, I'm going to add a 1/2 inch of sole with the foot growing correctly. You see that? Right now, is he tender-footed? Can he run on the rocks? No. Okay, sole is thin. Sole is getting corrected. You see over here how the sole can be pulled out of shape. Okay, the sole is the defense from the ground, right? It's got to be perfect. And the sole, the structure of the sole depends on if the wall is correctly retaining it behind there in the correct place, because this piece of wall grows from here to here, connects with this sole right in here. And for the life of that horse, this piece that grow down connect with that piece of sole, and they grow to the ground together. They are married forever. So when the wall gets out of line, okay, it drags the sole with it. That's why you want to watch out who you marry. Understand the analogy? Okay, so we're going to straighten out this wall so that it correctly retains this sole around the perimeter of the bottom of the foot in the right spot and in the right way. See? So that's what we're doing here. So, yes, right now, his sole is probably not quite 1/2 inch thick, but we want it thicker. But we've got to get all the wall correct so the sole will go correct and the bars and everything. Okay, and then we're going to let that sole grow to its optimum thickness, which I believe will be about 1 inch. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, right here he's got about 1/2 inch of sole. Okay, we're going to add another 1/2 inch to the length of the wall and everything once everything is correct. And we're going to build that sole up under that foot. So, now what are we going to do? We're going to take down a little bit of this wall right here. Okay? So that it is even with this side here. Just going to clean this up. A little more. Okay. Now see, this is going to be able to come in now. This bar standing up really nice. I'm very happy with it. Okay, step back. Wow. Looking really good. Okay. Now, all I do is just knock the outer, harder horn tubule, pigmented tubules off. Oh, sorry. See how I'm knocking those harder horn tubules off? Okay, the only part, I'm really not concerned too much with this. What I am concerned with, he's got a soft spot right there. So, I'm going to have to figure out some way to kind of protect that. Okay. Okay, give it here. Come on. Come on. Okay. Let's... Notice how I blend this in here. Oh, that don't sound good, Valor. So you should have 3 layers in your bars, just like you have 3 layers here. See, I'm getting this layer of I might get the grinder and just clean this up, smooth it up a bit, so there's no lumps. Alright, well, that's attractive. There you see how that front foot is getting straightened out. Okay, so I've really cleaned up the foot, and I just want to map these bars out, because remember, this bar was really laid over, and I'm wanting it to come back this way and get straight like this one. You see there? Okay, so let's mark down the center again as best we can. Okay, and right here at the white line, which again, from there to there, 1.5 inches, which is right here. See there? Okay. Now, from the white line, okay, now 3/4 of an inch to the end of the heel here, on both sides. From the bottom of the collateral groove, not the bottom in here, but the very back here where the periopal ends, and you have to make sure you're not measuring frog skin from frog skin, because the periopal and the frog skin blend in together here. So I'm at the end of the periopal skin here, and that is exactly 3/4 of an inch. So I want to come from here into here, right there. Okay, and here, quick. Right there. Okay, now you see this little piece here is kind of sticking out over that way. I'm trying to bring the bar into alignment with my line as much as possible. So this is the straightest so far I've ever gotten this bar. Let's see. Okay. Now you see how nice and straight those bars are? Now, when this is all corrected and the sole fills in, I'll have a nice flat landing surface like I do over here. See there? Okay. Now that, you've got to map the bars and learn to take those bars over to that line. Now, usually what you kind of get is what you're going to get is it's the inside wall here, or the outside wall of the bar will pretty much go along this line. And then you have the rest of the bar to the outside of it, like that. See there? Bars are real important because what are they connected to? Sole. Right? Okay, so they're going to keep this heel purchase right here, platform, in the correct spot. So your heels, this is your heels, all up the side of the wall, all the way back to here. This all is heel. This is your heel. Okay, so you want a good, firm landing surface right in here. See, what I had over here was concave. It didn't need to be concave because all the sole was pulled out of shape. Now this is going to fill in and be like this. A nice, flat landing surface for the back of my horse's foot. This whole area. This is heel. This is just the heel buttress right here.